Hey, Carolina, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm glad that
Good.
you were able to get in seamlessly. It's perhaps the first time that's ever happened on one of these lives where there hasn't been some type of friction or tech issue.
Oh, really? Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm prompt. I'm on time.
Yeah, I always say we're spirit people, not tech people. So
Yeah, that's exactly it.
yeah,
That is very, very true.
yes. Well, welcome. Nice to see you again.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And welcome to everyone who's joining and tuning in here to meet Carolina, our newest Awakenpedia partner. And I'm saying good to see her again because I got the pleasure and honor to do a session with Carolina yesterday for Kundalini activation, which was beautiful and very powerful. I felt like I was deeply connected to prana and felt that life force inside of me moving. So it's an honor to be here with you again and to, introduce you to the Awakenpedia community and whoever else is tuning in right now.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And it was my pleasure also to hold space for you and Maddie yesterday. I mean, absolutely love Kundalini, the activation and the energy, and it's my honor to hold space for people and share this beautiful energy.
Yeah, yeah, that's, one thing I noticed about you, Carolina, is that you hold a very pure and authentic passion. And I think you even used the word obsession for Kundalini and Kundalini activation. And so maybe that's a good place just to dive in, which is, can you tell us a bit about your story, your personal awakening journey, and how it led you to Kundalini, and how Kundalini activation has become your modality of interest and passion for you on the journey?
Yeah. Sure. So my journey started about 9 years ago, what I would like to call my spiritual awakening. And it started from a very depressive state of my life. Mentally, I was suffering with PTSD. Because from when I was a very young child, I experienced sexual abuse from the very early ages. This does come from a place of vulnerabilities, but I'm honoring this vulnerability in this part of myself. And yeah, I mean, I was very, very depressed. I was very consumed in the darkness and the trauma from it, and felt so much shame and guilt, anger, pain, everything all to it. And I felt like there wasn't really any way out. And I remember praying to God and like, please help me. I just need a way out. And I was put on antidepressants. Doctors were referring me to people, but I just didn't feel like I wasn't getting the help I needed. And if anything, I felt this numbness, and I didn't know who I was, and I just didn't have the will to live. And then I met a colleague, and then she introduced me to the Reiki energy, and I was like, okay, I'll go and give this a go. Let's see what this is about. And at that time, I was so vulnerable, and I didn't know what to expect, and it was really hard for me to open up. And then when I went into the space, I felt so seen, so held, so safe. It's just like it was just this inner knowing, this overwhelm of knowing, like, okay, this is something that's going to actually help me. And I had my Reiki session, and then it was from there, it's everything just changed. It was what I like to call my spiritual awakening. And then it was from there that I mean, there was no way of going back anymore. So it's just this continuous journey of finding me, peeling the layers. It was facing the burdens, the barriers, the challenges in my life. And I just somehow had this strength within me that just kept me going. And I thank the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. But it was that gave me the faith and trust to keep going. And then I just met many mentors, healers, and then traveled the world. And then recently I went to Bali, and then I got initiated and got in contact with this Kundalini activation energy. And I was just like, oh wow,
Mm.
this is something else and this is something more. And I already had been tuned into Reiki because I did my Reiki course and things, so that, you
Right.
know, that was still something. But then when I went into Kundalini, when I had my first session, I was like, this is it. This is it. And, you know, since COVID, the life has been a bit hectic and life has changed in turns. And, you know, when that all happened, kind of like I didn't have much hope and like, okay, what's going on now? Like, is things going to turn for the worse? And, you know, mental health started to kind of creep in again. And then, yeah, and then I got introduced to Kundalini and I was like, wow, this is something more. And this is what is so needed right now in this earth, because it was of such a playful, joyful energy. And it was just so magical in the way that it showed me how to really love myself and connect to me. And it was kind of like the universe was like, here you go, this is now your gift, this is now for you to hold space from others, from the connection for your heart, and help people know and show them the way that they have this access to this life force energy. What they need to know is within them, in them, and that they are their own powerful healers. And, you know, it's true, we are our own powerful healers, and I truly believe that. And it's this journey that's made me realize that what we need to know is within us. But of course, it is just going on this journey, peeling the layers, facing the shadows, facing the darkness, but loving yourself unconditionally through that. And it's forgiving yourself from the past and the forgiveness from those moments in your life, because that forgiveness is what sets you free. And Kundalini showed me that, you know, that we are allowed to be free, and it's this freedom that likes us be. I like to picture as a butterfly in this world, and just explore and see the greatness to life. And, you know, it doesn't have to be all struggles. And this love, when you access this love is infinity and beyond. And this is love, what, you know, shows us who we truly are, and that there is hope, and there is that faith, and there is that trust for life. And the Kundalini shows us that it helps us to tap into this life force energy, this consciousness that we all have access to, because it's something that's within us. And it allows us to see through the darkness, through the shadows, and love ourselves for who we truly are. And the acceptance and the forgiveness, and to release judgment towards ourselves, give ourselves permission to be whoever we want to be. And that us as a person, we are perfect just the way we are, and we're only doing the best that we can. And there's no right or wrong, and there is no like, oh, I should be doing this, or I shouldn't have done this, or I should have done this, or shouldn't that. It's not like this is part of the journey. And I would say the most darkest moments in my life and challenges have been my most blessings in life. So yeah, it's a beautiful journey.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing with me and the community and the world here, right? Opening up, being vulnerable, talking about how you've been able to evolve your consciousness through your personal narrative. As I've pointed to before in other discussions, you know, the personal journey itself isn't as absolutely important as the healing and the transcendence of the person, but
Mm.
we we can find solace and rejoice through relatability. And you know, I know the story you shared about your personal struggles, sexual abuse, various other avenues and adversities you had to face. Well, of course, objectively hard and challenging, and no one's preference. It's what allowed you to dig deep, to travel to the depths of your soul, to connect with that which is beyond all of the chaos and noise here on the surface. And you've been able to alchemize that pain into beautiful diamonds. And so to highlight that, to share that with the world is such a gift and blessing. And it's partly why I always ask, and when we begin these new partner intros, to share your story, to talk to us about you and how you got here. So thank you for that, and for pointing to how Kundalini has been kind of that modality for you, and in terms of really facilitating this journey. And that was one other question I just had when you're speaking about it, Carolina, which is, why do you sense Kundalini and Kundalini activation as a modality is one that rings so deeply with your soul versus, the other roads and modalities that you could practice and point to the truth through? Is there something about Kundalini in your heart that, just kind of has a special interest for you versus other modalities? I'm just curious.
I feel like Kundalini is something that when I initiated with the Kundalini, I felt this presence of this real deep safety within me, and this love that I'd never felt before. And that feeling is something you can never forget, and it's something that I hold on so deeply because it's something that I believe that other people have access to feel that way. And that is why it resonates and it holds so deeply in my heart, because it shows us this love and this connection that we can have ourselves. It shows us the safety that we carry within us. And I think a lot of people, kind of seek that safety in a way through, whether it's from environments or other people and stuff. But one thing I've learned, it's in this journey, it's about feeling that safety within you. And that safety within you is home. You are home. And no matter where you are or where you be, as long as you feel that safety within you, everything's okay. It's all okay. And I think it's so important to feel that. And instead of us, relying, I mean, yes, of course, environment and stuff can play a big key, but it's not relying on people and environments. It's actually really like, I am safe. I am home. I am where my heart is at. And that's what it means so much to me, because for a long time I didn't feel safe. Get a bit emotional, but I never felt safe. I never felt safe in my body. It was with the trauma stuff. There was always this fear, and it was always me, the validating and seeking for something so outwardly. And I never felt that until I realized the Kundalini showed me that, wait, Carolina, what you seek is within you, and it's been within you all along. And I remember when I had one of my Kundalini sessions, and it's like the Kundalini, that energy, the feminine, she showed me, and she was like, it's been in you all along. And that's when I was like, wow. And it was like, it was kind of like she hands me over, and in my visual, like, okay, here you go, now you go and show people this, you go and show them what they have within them. So that's why it really means a lot to me.
Yeah. Thank you. And I know I can feel just how true, you speak from beyond the mind when you're speaking from your heart. And to anyone who is intuitively connected, they'll be able to feel that too, which is why, they'll see you as an authentic, pure provider, which you are. And as such, able to truly help someone help themselves by being that presence for them that you've been able to realize for and through yourself. So you're extending that love as a facilitator of Kundalini activation, which is beautiful. One other thing, Carolina, that maybe we should have started here, but just to take a step back quickly, could you talk to us about what Kundalini activation really is? I mean, people have heard about Kundalini before, I think kind of as an umbrella term within the awakening library of nomenclature. But from your expert view and intuitive connection to this modality, what is happening in a Kundalini activation? Can you talk about the process through which, Kundalini energy rises through the chakra systems, and just, talk a bit about what's happening?
Yeah. So Kundalini is something that we all have within us and we have access to. And there are so many ways that we can awaken the Kundalini. But what the Kundalini activation process is a gentle way of awakening the Kundalini. So our Kundalini sits at the bottom of our spine. And then when we go in an activation process, this is gently activated, which is the fire element. And then it's also the serpent energy. So when this is activated, the energy starts to, it's like a little coil wrapped around it that starts to kind of like melt away and slowly unravel. And it's like the serpent energy, so I have to do the motion, just slowly coming up through your chakras. So it's a gentle way of awakening and coming up, just going through your chakras in your body until it reaches your crown chakra.
So it's starting just at the coiled energy.
Yeah, so it starts at the root energy and then it slowly floats up. So that's why it's a gentle way of activating the Kundalini and the process, because if you were to awaken it so quickly, it's too much for your body. Your body can't take that. It's gently awakening it. So when you're in this process, the energy starts to move through your body. So it's a feminine energy. So it's got that, it shows us the inner dance of life, the joyfulness of life. And it's just like that inner child womb energy. And it starts to just flow through your body. And anything that needs to be released or any stagnant energy is just works as energy healing. It's just being released through your body. And then you can also be in an experience of having deep visuals and seeing colors, patterns, feeling body sensation, tingling. And it's like everyone's experience is so different, so I can never put a specific experience, because it's like until you're in that experience you kind of feel what the energy is doing. But it works as an energy healing, and then it works as a place where you connect more to yourself, and it also shows us the dance and the free flow and energy of life. So when you come into a Kundalini session, I always tell my clients to come and in a place of open to receive and to surrender and trust and to kind of let go and be free. And this is what the feminine energy is showing us. It shows us to be more free in our own bodies and our own will, and that, emotions are raw and they're real and they are sacred, and it's okay to feel these emotions in this person in your body, and it's okay to appreciate every flaw and every part of that of yourself. And I believe it's so beautiful, magical now more than ever, because we have been so much in the masculine energy, in the energy of having to do, give, go, whereas the feminine, this Kundalini energy shows us that, it's okay to receive, it's okay to just sit back, it's okay to just be you, it's okay to flow, it's okay to dance with life, it's okay to play. It's about connecting also to your inner child, that childlike energy, and allowing yourself to just be who you want to be. So that's a bit about the Kundalini.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. That was a really articulate and intuitively aligned description of the Kundalini activation process. What's kind of happening on the energetic level, that oftentimes people can't really put words to describe. They're just feeling some type of thing that's happening to them. And that's why oftentimes, you may not even necessarily always know that there's some type of awakening process, ascension process occurring within you. But, oftentimes it's just, seen as some strange phenomena, of course. But, I think part of this education process here, as we continue to shift the energy into the new age at a collective level, is going to be really normalizing this process of waking up, of what it means, and being able to point to it quite clearly through what, that process you just described as one way in which specific, of course, to the Kundalini process,
Yeah.
Kundalini awakening. Um, okay,
And
great.
it's sorry, it's this consciousness, this life force energy that we all have access to, and this is what the Kundalini, and you know, we can access that through any modalities, but the Kundalini more than ever. And then you can end up, you know, accessing this anytime and end up activating yourself. And as well, like anyone can be a facilitator and facilitate this, because the more we heal and the more we learn and the more we love, the more the people and the world heals around us. And this is why this energy is so beautiful as well, because it brings connections. And when I hold a group session, it's just wow, like the energy and just in that group session and the connections that happen, it's just like, it's so beautiful, because it's it's bringing people back together, it's bringing back us as a whole, you know, and we're all from this oneness, this one source. So it's just nice that we can be in that space all together.
Mm, mm. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and um, I like the way you describe it as well, in terms of, you know, highlighting it as the truth that it is, which is, you know, this life force energy, the consciousness that we are, is something we all carry because we all are it. And this process of Kundalini awakening is the process of remembrance through which we come back into knowing that which we are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that incredible realization through which you stop searching externally, because you realize that you are that which you have always been looking for. And so it's a relaxation back into self, and um,
Yeah.
just such an effortlessness to it, because there's no doing involved. It's, of course, all the undoing, letting go, surrendering into the moment to accept that which, you know, is being offered. So as you say, the receiver, and just letting this natural process happen. So it's beautiful. um, why don't we talk just a few minutes about your specific offerings, um, you know, that which you offer today, in terms of, you know, the various services you provide, and what you'll be offering to the Awakenpedia community.
So right now I'm very much offering just the Kundalini energy. So I offer it in group sessions and also one-to-one sessions. So, and I also offer it in packages so that you can, because with the Kundalini, it's not just one session, it's you can get more, but then again, it's your body energy will guide you when to get more for the sessions. It's a process, it's, you know, step
Mm,
by step. And I also do offer a 6-week healing package, which is more working closely with me, and you'll get that support and guidance as well as having Kundalini activation sessions. But right now, it's more specifically with booking either one-to-one Kundalini sessions or group sessions. So with the Awakenpedia community, if they would like a more one-to-one personal session, they can have access to that. But then also offering a group session, which I think is so beautiful, magical, and you still get your own personal experience through that way. So those are the services I offer.
mm, mm. Wonderful. Yeah, perfect. And guys, for everyone who's tuned in, and tuning in now, you can find Carolina's partner profile in our member forum, and all the various offerings that she just described, as well as a bit more of her background and bio that you can read about. Um, but Carolina, that's really all I had on my end in terms of, you know, this nice short little introduction. Wanted to just acknowledge you, your story, um, you know, who you are, what you do, why you do it, and to announce our partnership together in helping to serve the world and help facilitate healing. Um, and your focus on Kundalini energy and activation as that modality, you know, the road offering a road for those to travel on through that specific route to help them get home. And I really respect this modality. It's one that I've had personal experience with. It's a tried and true approach, and Carolina is a wonderful practitioner of this. So highly recommend, inside or outside of Awakenpedia, just checking her out, testing out her offerings, giving it a go. You might just love what you get out of it. So worth a try.
Thank you so much. And I thank you so much for reaching out and connecting with me. I love the beautiful connections and meeting people along the way. And I always believe that, people come in your life for a reason. And I also see your deep authenticity and your passion, your love for what you do. And I think it's just so beautiful that, you've created this space where you can bring community and people together, but in a place that is where people can be vulnerable and also be seen, held, and safe. And I really get that from this space from you guys. So I thank you so much for connecting with me and taking your time and energy for this today and introducing me to this. And I am so excited to continue this journey and just hold space for those who need, and show them the way of their own journey, and know that you are your own survivor, and everything you need to know is within you. It's a beautiful thing, and really this life is truly magical, and it feels so good to be free. So it's giving yourself permission to just be free and be who you want to be. So thank you.
So beautifully said. Those, yeah, wonderful and so true. It is such a blessing and incredible thing to just be alive itself, and to help people remember that by connecting them to the source of life itself, the most natural state of being, to connect them to the homeland. It's a gift to be able to provide that offering, that service. It really is. So thank you for seeing that as well. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how our relationship grows together over time, over the course of the journey. We are entering an age, an era of incredible opportunity and demand. Like, I really see a tsunami that's on its way in terms of this awakening consciousness, and we're going to have people like us who are willing to serve and to be able to be there to help people navigate what is otherwise a very strange and potentially destructive process. But if navigated purely and correctly, it can be the most beautiful metamorphosis and experience of your life. So that's the intent, right? And it's a true joy to be able to do it with you by our side, and to do it together. So thank you again, and
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning. Thank you.
All right.
Speak soon.
Speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.